Alrighty then, let's get started. Welcome back to the Backlot 605 podcast. I am Casey.
I'm Brian.
And it's just the two of us tonight.
That's it. The dastardly duo.
The dastardly duo,
The OG schmucks.
the OG bro schmucks.
The bro schmucks.
We're the bro schmucks. We are here on episode 29 of our podcast. Thank you all for listening again, if you're actually listening. That didn't make any sense, because if they actually heard me, they would be listening.
Yeah, exactly.
I fail at this.
You're failing. You're failing.
Yeah. I had to do it by myself last week, so give me a little slack.
No.
No slack?
You don't give me slack for shit.
I absolutely will not give you any slack. Anyway, we got I was about to say a stacked show, but I'm not going to lie to you guys.
It's kind of light.
It's kind of mediocre, just like this show.
Hey.
No,
you're mediocre.
I'm very mediocre.
It's the beard.
It's definitely the beard, because they can see it.
They can hear it. It's like
they can hear the beard.
It's like a smile. You can always hear it.
You can always hear the beard.
You can hear the smile.
Hashtag hear the beard. Anyway, we'll talk about the box office, the news for the week, and then our main topic for this episode, in honor of Rocket Man that comes out this week.
Rocket Man.
The Elton John biopic. We're going to be talking about some musicians that we think need a biopic. We are in a biopic craze right now for musicians.
Well, there's been like two.
There's been Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, three if you include The Dirt.
The Dirt, Lords of Chaos, Rocket Man, all within the last year.
Lords of Chaos.
It's the best out of all of them.
You haven't even seen Rocket Man yet. You can't
I
say
haven't
that.
seen Rocket Man, but out of the ones I've seen, it is by far the best.
You just have a hate relationship with Bohemian Rhapsody.
I enjoy it. It's a 2-hour-long Queen music video. It's nothing more than that.
Isn't that half the purpose of why biopics exist? Musical biopics.
No, and we will talk about when we get to my picks.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's going to be scary. Don't be frightened.
I will be frightened.
Anyway, let's jump to the box office, because we have another film that exceeded our expectations, that's for sure, and that is Disney's live-action remake of Aladdin, $86 million, far exceeding expectations for the week.
Not as only did it exceed expectations for the box office, like, people right now are saying it's the best live-action remake that Disney has made.
I think this is the most divisive live-action remake they've done so far.
Well, there's that, too.
It's either you really enjoyed it or you hated it. No middle ground. I haven't seen a whole lot of middle ground in this movie at all.
Well, I truly think that it's because of the Will Smith, Robin Williams aspect of it.
And from what I'm hearing I haven't watched it yet, and from the reviews I've heard and watched, and
Will Smith is
killing
it.
Is the best part, is what a lot of them are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that surprises me, but
as much shit as he was getting.
Yeah, he was like.
But
you think Sonic the Hedgehog was getting shit?
Oh my god.
Will Smith was getting more shit than Sonic the Hedgehog.
For the sake of how much shit Will Smith was getting to when this movie finally releases, and all of a sudden he's the best part about it. And I will still stand by what I said previously before this even trailer dropped, when they announced his casting of it. Robin Williams, huge genie slippers to fill. Absolutely. Not many people are going to be able to pull that off, and I do think they did a beautiful job on casting the right kind of person who has the acting chops, but also has the comedic chops to be able to pull off what Robin did for the animated one.
Yep. I still think he looks like Shaq from Kazam, but that's besides the point.
That's a whole different thing. I do think that. And this is my hope and dream in the alternate world of life that it could be, is that if Robin Williams was still alive today, that when Disney said, I'm going to remake this movie, that Robin Williams to Genie would have been the same thing as what James Earl Jones was to Darth Vader, that when they...
Or to Mufasa.
Or to Mufasa. Yes, sorry. That's where I was going with it. For The Lion King.
Both, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, they're going to, redo The Lion King. We're going to recast everybody. But we are not fucking touching that one. Yeah, and I hope that would have been the case. But at least for the sake of what we have, and that Robin's not with us anymore, it looks like he's killing it.
No, I think that is the way they probably would have gone if that were the reality which we live in. But I don't know. For me, this is the movie out of all the live-action remakes that we've been getting, like, this is the one that excited me the most. And then we got those first couple of trailers. The second one got better, but that first trailer...
The first trailer was so bad.
Deflated all hope I had for this movie, so I didn't even go watch it opening weekend.
That first trailer should never have existed.
No, so...
On that note, though, what can we say about that, though?
On the movie?
No. On the website.
Yes, we do. We do have a review for the movie on the website right now. It's
Yes.
not from either of us, because we're a bunch of schmucks who don't go watch movies, but we talk about them on a podcast.
We go see movies.
We like to see movies that we actually want to see, like Aladdin.
I know. But, no, we actually have new contributing writer and content creator. We've got Andy, who absolutely loves his new released movies, to be able to go see them in the theater, and he had an opportunity to go see Aladdin on Thursday when it came out, and has already got us a nice review up, and you need to go check that out.
Yeah, check it out on backlot605.com. He actually, spoiler, he gave it a positive review. But definitely check out his thoughts on the movie on our website right now.
Right meow.
Right meow.
Right meow.
Let's move on. Number 2 at the box office, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, $24 million. Still kicking it strong. Grossing over $100 million domestically.
Domestically.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I like
Keanu
this.
and John Wick.
Oh,
I don't care.
Yeah, from that first movie being basically his passion project into...
And it was a sleeper hit.
It's almost an indie movie, that first one. Mm-hmm. No one knew what to expect from it, and it just blew everybody's expectations. And this third film is making gangbuster money.
Yeah,
at
and
the box office.
you've noticed how like Keanu has this really weird like a little bit of a dip, and then we get the next huge franchise, a little bit of a dip.
Keanu-sans?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
You know,
I termed it right here on
the
podcast.
Keanu-sans?
The Keanu-sans.
now I want you to figure out how you're gonna spell that shit.
It's gonna be tough. I don't even know how to spell Keanu.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. It's a joke.
God, I hope so.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Anyway, no, I mean the fact that John Wick came out of nowhere in just huge following right out of the gate. Nobody really expected what to see out of it. Again, it was Keanu Reeves, and at the time John Wick came out, he was back into that slump because it's like he's getting all those misses after the Matrix trilogy and whatnot, and then all of a sudden just went. Hey, I enjoyed Constantine.
It's a fun movie for what it is, but yeah.
And Shia LaBeouf.
I know what you're coming at with Keanu's dips with the Matrix, and then back up.
But
and then
don't forget Bill and
Bill
Ted.
and Ted. Yep, and then you had Point Break. It's a little higher.
Yeah, we got Parenthood.
Yeah.
Way early on.
Yeah. So yeah, that's still making big money at the box office. So
I still need to see it. I feel bad.
We will be talking a little bit more about John Wick coming up when we talk about the news. Number 3, Avengers Endgame, $16.8 million.
And there's, I just looked up the numbers just a minute ago here, and there's still, I don't think they're going to get it.
How far away are they as of our recording on Sunday?
As of the recording here, let me get it pulled back up here.
Total domestic gross while we're waiting is $798 million. So they're going to get close to probably $900 billion by the time they're done here. 900 million, not billion. Oh, geez.
No. And honestly, between last week and this last week, I don't know if it's going to hit. I don't really know if it's going to hit 900 before it's out of the theaters. Right now, worldwide, so domestically, Avengers owns Avatar, by like $30 million, but it is just shy by about $111 million to beat Avatar for global gross, worldwide domination. And the way it's going right now, like you said, they only brought in 16 this week domestically. I think it's losing steam. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there was just too much going on in the month of May and June.
Too many movies, yeah.
Yeah, I think there was just too much going on that we had our repeat watchers, the expected repeat watchers. But I think those that were going to were like, I'm not going to go see Endgame again. I need to go see Aladdin.
Or Godzilla.
I'm going to go see Godzilla. I'm going to go fucking see John Wick. There was just too much afterwards for it. I think that's what's making it lose its steam.
I think it's going to be really close. It's going to go down to that last week they're in the theater.
Oh,
it's going to be really close. So
definitely.
We'll keep updating you on that every single week. Number 4, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, $13.3 million in its third week out. We also have a review for that up on the website right now, done by Andy Erickson as well.
Hey, well, look at that.
Look at that.
Full circle again.
And number 5, Brightburn, pulling in $7.5 million this weekend. And yeah, that rounds out our top 5. Brian, you got a chance to watch Brightburn. What was your quick thoughts on it?
I absolutely enjoyed it. I love the fact that it takes a new spin on the idea of the superhero-ish people of Earth and whatnot. Because I won't spoil it and whatnot, but the since it's a James Gunn and there's a it's Gunn family. There's all the Gunns basically making this movie and whatnot. We get Michael Rooker, and the way that we have Michael Rooker in there gives the Gunn family the ability to turn this into its own essential universe. And with what they do and how they do it, oh my God, I want it to happen. I need a sequel to Brightburn. But no, it was very fascinating. There's a lot of things about the movie that it did differently that I didn't expect it to do. After really sitting down and thinking about it, I went with my cousin, and he's like, if you have a movie that's not 2 hours long, you wonder what's wrong with the movie. And my first rebuttal was, you make a movie to get your point across, and if you cut A, B, C, and D because it was completely frivolous, whether it be the extra 30 seconds of a scene or something like that, just if it gets down, as long as it gets to the point, that's what I want. And I got to thinking about it. It's like, there could have been more death in this movie.
There always can be more death in movies.
There might have been a way to be able to at least get another 10, 15 minutes out of it. Yeah. But
No,
overall,
it's what, 90 minutes?
yeah.
I miss that. I miss our streamlined 90-minute movies, in and out. You tell
Yeah,
your story.
and that's where I was kind of going when I was telling him about it, But after the fact, I was like, it could have done a little bit more. Anybody who is fans of Breaking Bad, the guy that played Badger plays the kid's uncle, and that's gruesome.
Spoilers.
I'll just give you that. That's gruesome. Overall, no, I completely enjoyed it. I do want to give a shout out to Andy too, because he made a reference here. He actually got to go see Booksmart this weekend. Don't know anything about it. He hasn't said anything if he was writing anything about it, but he did say it looks like it's this generation's version of Superbad.
Which makes sense since Jonah Hill's sister is in the movie, but
female Superbad.
Yeah, Booksmart came in at number 6 this week, $6.5 million. Olivia Wilde's directorial debut.
And that's what I was gonna say, is that it's Olivia Wilde's directorial, it's an indie movie basically. To crack the top 10, I think is beautiful.
Yeah. So, we should be probably getting a review on that at some point. I plan on checking out Brightburn and Booksmart before I watch Aladdin. So, suck it, Disney.
You fail. You're Mr. Disney
Disney shill.
Yeah.
That's all I am. Disney shill.
And yet you're
ready to cough up my $8 a month for Disney Plus.
Well, everybody knows that.
Let's jump to the news. Let's talk about John Wick.
The Wickster.
The Wickster. Once again, Baba Yaga himself. They have announced this past weekend that John Wick 4 is happening.
They even give it a specific date.
They did.
It was May 24th or something like that?
2021 it is coming. So pretty much exactly 2 years from right now, we are going to be in the theater watching John Wick 4.
I'm okay with that.
You haven't watched John Wick yet, have you? 3?
John Wick 3, no.
Okay. So
that's on my to-do list.
Just the way the movie ends off, it sets up for 4 perfectly. And I'm glad they didn't announce it, because I was expecting this to be the end.
And from what I saw on Reddit, I did enjoy how they subtly sent out the message that they were doing this, because they sent it out via Facebook message as a message from the Continental.
Oh, that's great.
So it was all marketing team. It wasn't any sort of teaser. I assume obviously teaser at the end of the movie.
The after credits?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He shows up as Neo and they team up. No, there's no after credits teaser, but the way the movie ends, it sets up for John Wick 4 perfectly.
Does it give us, maybe we'll get Common to come back?
That's what I'm hoping. He's not in the movies, but
we knew he wasn't going to be in the movie, but at the same time too, it's even myself, I'm just you didn't see him die.
I don't want to spoil it, so yeah, It leaves the door open for him to come back.
And that's just it. And I enjoyed the on-screen chemistry that was Common and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, so that will be coming 2021. John Wick 4. What cool title are they going to have this time?
Parabellum Part 2.
Part 2.
Well, I forget, what is Parabellum even? Isn't that a gun?
What?
Parabellum.
They say it in the movie, I don't remember. Anyway, we got a new trailer this week for another franchise film about a killer assassin. Terminator 4. Terminator Dark Fate.
It's a gun.
Parabellum.
Yes.
Anyway, Terminator Dark Fate. New trailer. Just came out for the latest Terminator film. We see Linda Hamilton returning to the franchise. Along with Arnold.
And
what are your thoughts? So this movie is going to take place going back to, as all the Terminator sequels do, going back to T2, taking off from there. This is the only one that counts after that. So.
I was gonna say, didn't they basically say this is like what they did to Halloween to this is
what they've done in their franchise since the beginning. So
we're retconning everything again,
but the good ones.
Well,
this for me,
I've got one thing to say really quick here.
No,
and maybe this has everything to do with it. There isn't, like the Saw movies. It's Lionsgate, Fast and Furious. It's Universal. Those kind of things where the franchise is within one studio for its entire entity, right? We don't have that for Terminator. And so with maybe too many people cross-contaminating, maybe that's half of our problem. I mean, because look at Jason. He's flipped from Paramount to New Line, and it's been an absolute hell since then. But no, what was your take on the trailer?
Very meh on this movie.
Why?
It's for me, it looks like the same old shit.
It's the fucking Terminator. What'd you expect?
Something great, because the first two movies are legit two of the greatest movies ever made.
I do love in the trailer that the screen goes black. And returning producer James Cameron. Like, they want to make sure that Cameron
is shit on this movie.
Are you sure?
Guarantee he did nothing with this movie.
Why?
He's kind of busy making a couple Avatar movies.
Oh yeah, but he was also producer, and he
also gave consent to Terminator
Alita.
Genesis, and yeah, we know how that turned out. No, Alita was a different thing. He had been working on that movie at one point.
That was literally that was his property he was working on.
So that's a little different than this. I think I'll give my blessing. It's another Terminator movie. Give me a little more money so I can throw it to Avatar.
I mean, and again, unfortunately, her name is escaping me or whatever. The gal from *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Mackenzie Davis.
Thank you. I really enjoy her. To have Linda Hamilton coming back for this. So, did you ever watch any of the alternate versions of T2?
Alternate version? I don't think I've ever watched anything alternate versions. No.
You've just watched the straight theatrical version?
Yes.
Okay. So there are alternate versions. Like, if you actually find one of the first released on DVD copies of T2, they actually had an Easter egg where you'd actually get with the alternate ending. And in the beginning of this trailer, you see where it's just the road, and you see the center line, parking, whatever. That is literally the ending of T2 at night. Her talking about what is to come. And I purposely think that is why this trailer starts that way. I honestly think this is Cameron's way, Yeah, you're right. If Cameron wasn't too busy making Avatar, I wouldn't be surprised if he was making this, because he hopefully wants to do right. Mackenzie, again, I'm a big fan of hers. I think that she will do well. I don't know who this guy is that's playing the T whatever 1000 thing that we've got now.
It's no Arnold.
But we got Arnold.
Yeah, of course we have Arnold.
We got Arnold. So
there's one thing I do like about this trailer.
What's that?
Is that Arnold is not the big reveal.
No.
It is Linda Hamilton.
Yes. Yeah. I think they, and
Sarah Connor.
I think they've gotten to the point where they're like, you know what? We know that, he's going to be in this, so, that's not your big deal. To show the badass that Sarah Connor has become. You know, she's not the whiny little mom that, you know, the way that the first movie kind of presents her as.
Yeah, but in the second one, she's a straight fucking badass. Like, she's more badass than Arnold in that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, think of where she's at now.
They're going Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween.
Yes.
2018 with this, for sure. They definitely took inspiration from that. And I don't know. I'll probably go watch this. I didn't go watch Genesis in the theater or anything, but I don't know. For me, every sequel to Terminator kind of takes away from what the first two movies were trying to say and be about. Like, the whole point of Terminator 2, which is considered by many the greatest sequel action movie sci-fi, like it's one of the best movies ever made. And to take that ending where they stop Judgment Day from happening and stop this terrible future from ever happening, only to keep doing it, it's like you take out everything that should be part of that story. So I get money. Money for the sake of the real world. Money is a thing. Yes.
But one of the things this movie or this franchise has explicitly said, though, too, is some things are inevitable. That things will happen. It will take its course. You can change the course of how things will happen, but they will still happen. You know, and they've made reference to that before. Heck, I think that was... was that Rise of the Machines? It was either Rise of the Machines or Salvation, where they basically make the reference of, you know, Skynet's still going to happen. The machines are still going to...
You're just pushing it back.
You're just pushing... Exactly, because the inevitable is going to happen. So, you know, who knows? Maybe this is, again, another part of that. Maybe this is the final, you know, thing where they're like, we can't keep making these. Arnold is getting too old.
Unless... They need to bring back Edward Furlong is what I'm trying to get to. That's all that needs to happen. As John Connor.
You know, I would be okay with that.
I don't even know if he's still acting anymore.
And as much as people give Rise of the Machines shit, I didn't mind Nick Stahl. I've been a fan of Nick Stahl since he was a kid actor, you know, and I think he did a decent job as well. So...
So that will be coming to theaters here November 1st. I don't know. I'm not sold yet. Maybe something in the next trailers will sell me on it.
But see, that means you have to watch more trailers.
That's all right. If I'm not sold on the first one, I have no problem watching your other trailers.
Gotcha.
All right, let's move on to another Schwarzenegger film. And one I'm actually a lot more excited about. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Michael Fassbender are set to shoot a feature-length version of...
A feature-length sequel.
Sequel? Is it a sequel confirmed?
That's my understanding.
Awesome. Even better. Oh, it is. It's titled Kung Fury 2. So it is the sequel to Kung Fury, the 30-minute short from David Sandberg. Not the guy that did Lights Out. That's a different David Sandberg.
Too many David Sandbergs.
Too many David Sandbergs. Change your guys... No, I'm kidding. If you haven't seen Kung Fury before, it is fucking off-the-walls, bonkers, amazing.
Basically 80s nostalgia in every aspect rolled into 30 minutes.
The best way to do a movie that is trying to purposely be a B movie, this is how you have to do it. It understands what it is and it plays up that B movie aspect perfectly.
The one thing when I saw this casting of Schwarzenegger and Fassbender, like, would I ever expect to see these two in a movie together? Sure, it's bound to happen. Fassbender does do action and whatnot, you know, and it's Schwarzenegger. Now, they're like, you know, Schwarzenegger, Kung Fury. I'm like, you know what? I'm not surprised. That at this point right now, it almost seems like that dude will do anything. And then I hear Fassbender. I was like, okay, now you've got my attention.
One of those two will be the villain. That is for sure. I think it'd be funny either way because the villain in the first Kung Fury is really funny.
You want it to be Schwarzenegger?
I do want it to be Schwarzenegger, just to play against type a little bit.
Well,
because like Michael Fassbender can obviously play the bad guy.
Oh yeah, he's
Magneto. I want Schwarzenegger to play the evil foreign villain.
No, I would be okay with that. That'd especially to flip the script a little bit, kind of like how we like the Expendables, when our bad guys were Jean-Claude Van Damme and fucking Mel Gibson. Mm-hmm. No, I would be okay with that. I could see a nice change of pace for Schwarzenegger.
For Arnold to play the fun villain, I think he would kill it. I think that'd be the perfect casting for him in this movie. So there's no set release date for Kung Fury 2. The big news was just that they're going to start shooting here shortly. And I just want to talk about Kung Fury.
Kung Fury.
It's so good. If you guys haven't watched it, please watch it. It's not on Netflix anymore, is it?
No, it's not on Netflix, but most places you can buy it for like $5 digitally.
Yeah, it's well worth your $5. So all I ask is that we get Triceracop back in this movie.
Triceracop, huh?
Yeah, it's his police partner, Triceracop. It's literally what you think it is.
A dinosaur cop.
That's a cop.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that there is a Whoopi Goldberg movie that is like that. Where she's a cop and she's got a dinosaur partner.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yes, there is a movie. I know what movie you're talking about too. Oh god.
It's really sad that A, I referenced that, and B, you actually know what the fuck I'm
I
talking
know what
about.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on away from Whoopi Goldberg and dinosaurs.
Taika Waititi.
What is Taika doing now?
Taika is attached to do the live-action Akira movie. The movie that has been in like limbo for 9 billion years. Maybe we'll actually get this. Now, do we get Taika doing Thor Ragnarok and we get an amazing movie? Or do we get Taika doing Ghost in the Shell and then it gets bad for us and then we all hate the fact that we have a live-action Akira movie?
No, I gotta admit, I know nothing about Akira. I know that it's an anime.
I would recommend.
I know that's the one you've watched.
It's like the one of like 2 animes I've ever watched in my life, and I own it, and it's an amazing movie.
But I just have to say, trust Taika.
I do trust Taika.
He is one of the most creative minds in Hollywood right now. So that's where...
And he's a fucking nerd, and he knows what he's doing.
He's going to know what he's doing. So I know nothing about it, but I know I'll be in the theater opening weekend for it.
You say that.
You're
gonna watch that first trailer and be like, "Fuck, I was wrong."
Fuck, not this. No, there's certain directors where it's like their movie I will go watch no matter what they make. Taika is one of those guys now.
So you want to go see, was it Jojo Rabbit that he's working on?
Where he plays Hitler?
Yes.
Yes, obviously. I mean, that premise alone, but...
Who doesn't want to see Taika play Hitler?
Yeah. No, I'm in for this movie just on that directing choice alone.
That is... Yes.
That's it.
I agree. I think he's been making some very educated decisions on the project that he's been picking up.
Let's jump back to the last thing. I found the name of that movie though.
Yes.
Theodore Rex.
Theodore Rex. Okay, so she's not. Is she a cop? I don't remember.
Yes, she's a cop.
Okay, she is a cop.
Yep, she pairs up with a talking dinosaur. So check out Theodore Rex. Highly recommended here on Backlot 605.
Wow, they're really gonna stop listening because they're like, he recommended this fucking garbage.
No, please go watch Kung Fury instead of Theodore Rex.
If you're gonna go watch Theodore Rex, just go watch Sister Act. Go watch Jumpin' Jack Flash. Go watch anything that's got Whoopi Goldberg in it that's better
than Theodore Rex. Let's talk about another modern version of Theodore Rex. I think this is gonna end up being Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, Sonic!
And why do we bring Sonic back into the news?
Because he's always going to be in the news. He's going to control our lives. He's going to destroy us.
No.
He's going to destroy Mickey Mouse one day.
Oh, fuck that.
No, he's not, because
this movie is now, 22 years too late?
Yeah. This movie has now been pushed back another year to 2020 to work on more visual effects, which they said they were not going to push back.
Well, did you see the tweet post that
from the director?
The one that says no visual effects artists were harmed in the making of this movie?
At least they have a sense of humor about their shitty ass movie.
Yes.
I'll give them that, but just put the movie out already.
You know what? Honestly, if they're doing this for the right reasons, if it's not the studio correcting it or pushing it back because of, well, we can't put it here because we're not going to make any money because of this or that. If they're legit pushing the movie back because they're actually listening to the fans and going, dude, Sonic fucking blows. You need to fucking fix it, Otherwise, nobody's going to go to this movie. At least they're attempting to try to correct the ship. I will give them that.
Even if this movie had that first trailer and poster or whatever looked like their final product that they're eventually going to have, I still think this movie would bomb. I don't think there is a market for this right now.
Oh no, it's 20 years too late.
Is way
That's
too late.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, if you're gonna push it back to fix something as bad as what they did to Sonic, it's already 20 years too late. So you know what? If it's another 6 months to at least give us a Sonic that looks like he's supposed to, bomb or not, at least they're fixing it and they're listening to the fans.
I don't understand this from a studio standpoint. Like, why are you throwing that much more money into your visual effects when like, this movie's gonna bomb?
Who knows? Maybe
it's not like there's certain things you can fix in post, but there's other things you can't. Like Jim Carrey's acting, you can't fix that in post.
Who's to say that Jim Carrey isn't going to be the one saving grace of this movie?
Okay, I guarantee in a bad way he will be over the top, amazing, old school Jim Carrey. But I don't know if we need that right now.
Okay,
again, 20 years too late, Brian.
This might be a very bad analogy here, but what if Jim Carrey to Sonic is the Will Smith to Aladdin?
I haven't watched Aladdin, but shit, from what I still see in the trailers and stuff, Will Smith doesn't look good in Aladdin. So, from what I've seen in Sonic the Hedgehog, Jim Carrey does not look very good in that movie.
I don't mind. Granted, I still think between Jim Carrey and James Marsden, I sit there and go, and with Damien Dark dude from Arrow, McDonald, whatever fuck.
Neil McDonald.
All I know is all of them going, what kind of paychecks, what coercion did you get to say, yes, I want to make this movie?
Well, what else are they doing?
Granted, I will give the fact that, especially in that last scene or whatever of Jim Carrey looking like Robotnik, that it does have me going, okay, you have my attention.
That's it? Just their attention. Do they have...
Yeah, I'm not going to go see this movie.
No, not at all. This movie is way too late. It is something different than, like, I think an animated version would do all right at the box office. It'd do better it would do a lot better than this live action version.
Are you talking like a Shrek, like a CGI?
Yes, completely animated. CGI animated film.
You see, the old guy over here has to get clarification because when I immediately think animation, I'm thinking like Bugs Bunny, like old school animation.
Or that too. Either one. Anything but the live action aspect.
Well,
I don't know why studios think they need to throw live action stuff into.
Shut up, we're getting Space Jam 2.
That's the one exception. The Space Jam is awesome. But it's like you don't need to do Mario in live action. You don't need to do...
I want Mario in live action.
Woody Woodpecker in live action like they did. Or Yogi Bear. Like, why are you doing these?
Because Justin Timberlake wanted to play Boo Boo?
Yeah. And Dan Aykroyd played.
That's John Goodman.
No, it's Dan Aykroyd.
Is Aykroyd?
Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
I think it's bad either way.
Yogi Bear.
Why are we talking about... This is a shitty movie episode.
Okay, it is Dan Aykroyd. Shut up.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Why do I know that though? I shouldn't feel proud. I feel dirty knowing that.
Yeah, exactly. You're giving me shit for being wrong. And you're like, wait a minute, why do I know this?
No, I feel dirty for that.
Why do I know this?
All right, that was the news for the week. Let's get out of this shitstorm that is this week's news.
Hey, there's some good in there.
There was some good.
Most of it was good.
I would say we're about half and half. We kind of went down the Theodore Rex rabbit hole, but that's all right. We're back. We're clawing our way back out of that Theodore Rex rabbit hole.
A son of a bitch.
Anyway.
You might have to take that part off.
No, that's funny. If you listen to an episode a while back, you notice Brian likes to hit his legs on the table, so.
You're the one that has to go and buy, like, old freaking whatever these things are.
Tables. That's what they are. Anyway, let's jump to our main topic for today. In honor of Rocket Man coming out this week, we want to talk about some of our picks for musicians that need a biopic.
And yours sounds like you're in a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Prepared state.
No, I wanted to be a little more prepared, but I came up with a few notes for my three. Me and Brian each came up with three. If they... Turns out we came up with the same idea. Guarantee we didn't.
I doubt that. I really do.
Anyway, you want me to kick it off?
Go for it.
All right. My number three, I started off with... This one was hard. My top two were pretty easy for me. But this third one, there's so many different musicians that need a biopic. And one I had in my mind, just because of how much he's done for the music industry itself, was Kenny Loggins. But I'm like, I don't know a whole lot about his life. I think it'd be kind of boring. Nothing against Kenny
You're
Loggins,
like,
but
I wanted Kenny Loggins, except for I don't know anything about Kenny Loggins.
yeah. Besides, he's a great '80s original song creator. Anyway, my pick is for a Marilyn Manson movie starring Marilyn Manson as himself, but he's gonna. It's I don't even know how to describe it, but I basically want it to be a straight up horror movie with Marilyn Manson in it.
That wouldn't be a biopic, then.
It is a loose iteration of what his actual life is.
Oh, is that? Huh?
That's the way I'll put it. It's a biopic on his life where he kills demons or something.
Oh my god.
You would not watch that?
No.
Do I need to convince you more?
No.
Directed by Rob Zombie. So Rob Zombie directs Marilyn Manson, playing Marilyn Manson as he fights demons.
I just want to see a Marilyn Manson movie, period, with Rob Zombie directing.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it's a biopic now. I just want that.
You don't care if it's him fighting demons?
Well, no, he'd have to be fighting demons or something to that effect, because what you're coming up with is nowhere near a fucking biopic.
That's what I'm saying, that he's going to be fighting demons.
But
physical demons, not...
But here's my question.
It's a metaphor for his
Do we
internal
get, like,
demons.
old girlfriends to come back? Like, do we get to have Rose McGowan play herself?
Yes. Well, or someone, if they don't want to play themselves, but someone will play all these other...
Dita Von Teese and...
Yeah, famous people.
Yes.
Rob Zombie plays himself, too.
Well, you can't have anybody not play Rob Zombie but himself.
So,
I would be curious that, is that since if you are going down this rabbit hole a little bit, if you will, I still think you're batshit crazy.
but I'll explain why when you're done.
But is being that he has dabbled in film and television, I think that would be a good thing to be able to try to show, because, a lot of people, all they see is just crazy musician version of Manson. They don't see some of the other stuff he's done. Like, he had a small reoccurring story arc on Sons of Anarchy. Very good. I was actually bringing this up earlier today when I was talking about a new movie with Seth Green and whatnot. He's in a movie with Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin called Party Monster. If anybody has never seen it, I do highly recommend it.
Pretty sure that's the third time you've recommended it on the show.
I don't care.
You're going to keep recommending
I will fucking recommend it.
There you go.
It is fucked up, and since it's based on actual people, that's what makes it even more fucked up. But no, Manson plays Christina, the transvestite truck driver. And it's great. But I mean, his cameo with Rose McGowan in Jawbreaker.
See, for me, musical biopics become very formulaic really fast. Mm-hmm. If you do the same story, this is them as a kid, they never fit in, and then they found music, and then this is them forming the band, or this is them getting famous, and then this is it.
Literally Manson, though.
And then they died. I know, but I want that, except he's fighting demons instead.
Maybe he's fighting his own personal demons.
It's a metaphor, Brian. But it's a Rob Zombie movie, so it's going to be pretty blatant what the movie's about.
I don't know what to do with you.
It's going to be pretty straightforward. He's fighting demons, but they are actual metaphors for his inner demons.
His inner demons?
It's a very deep movie.
Wow.
By Rob Zombie.
I'm going to throw this out here right now. Right now. I think you went way too deep in this. You're like, you need 3 people to biopics. Okay, cool. I got it. Yeah, my wheels weren't spinning like this.
Like my Marilyn Manson demon hunting movie?
No.
That's all right.
No, not
all right,
at all.
So that's my number 3. Marilyn Manson biopic where he fights demons, directed by Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 3?
And
if you have an order, I don't know.
No, I guess I'll give it a little bit of an order. One of the ones I think of is lead singer of Alice in Chains that we lost in 2000, Layne Staley. Would be considered one of the bands that helped create the grunge era of the 90s. A very, very unique vocalist, very renowned, respected in the musical community, gone way before his time. I would definitely want to see, Jerry Cantrell, the guitarist for Alice in Chains, actually come in and be like, hey, help, make sure that things are accurate and everything like that. making sure, because one of the other things too is, with synonymous with, musical biopics, if done correctly, don't look at the David Bowie one coming out. I'm just saying it's just going to be bad. Is the music. Like, you listen to Alice in Chains, it's Alice in Chains. If you listen to Manson, for the most part,
it's Manson.
He varies a little bit, but that it's Manson. And that's where, like, if you were going to show the progression of Alice in Chains.
So would you want it to more focus on the band or Layne Staley?
I want to say probably a little bit of both, because, I mean, he himself had his struggles. So, you're definitely going to want to showcase that, but you don't want to showcase it to a point in which it's going to make him, to make people hate him, which unfortunately by the list that I have here is going to be a major theme for Maya.
Don't make you hate him.
Yes.
For me, one of the last musical biopics I watched was The Dirt on Netflix, which is really mediocre. But
it wasn't until somebody else was telling me that Machine Gun Kelly is the one that plays Tommy Lee, and I'm just kind of blown back by that.
He's actually pretty good in the movie, actually. I'm not gonna lie. But where I think that movie failed is that they focused, on the band. Where I think the most interesting story is just Nikki Sixx. Like, if you would have focused just on him and his demons and focused it on that one character, and maybe how the bandmates react to that. But I think it'd be playing a little bit better.
But see, then at that point you're playing it off a different book, though, because The Dirt was based off of the Dirt.
Yeah.
No, and I think I've even referenced this before. Is that I do think Nikki Sixx needs one of his own. And if they did
Just
one,
call it the Heroin Diaries.
Exactly. If they did one off the Heroin Diaries, it would be a totally different movie.
Yeah, I just want musical biopics to change up the formula every once in a while. That'll be a kind of theme in mine until I get to number one almost. I'm just going to be a hypocrite. Anyway, I'm glad you brought up the grunge era of music because I have a grunge band as my second pick.
Uh-oh.
Can you guess?
Nirvana.
Sort of.
Okay.
Nirvana through the eyes of Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic.
Chris Novoselic?
Novoselic?
Novoselic.
I don't know how to say it. But yes, I don't want Kurt Cobain to be the main character in this movie. Honestly, I don't want Kurt Cobain to hardly be in the movie. I want it to be those two reaction to the megastar Elvis Presley of the 90s. That is Kurt Cobain. Get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but at least from
this would never happen. This movie would absolutely never happen this way.
No. And nobody would go to it that way.
No. You pitch it as the Nirvana movie, and then marketing teams need to do this more. Pitch along with studios. If you make a movie that's the better story, and then pitch it as what people will go watch, do that.
Oh yeah, trick them.
Yes.
Trick them into
yes. That's the whole. No, you market them to want to go watch your movie, and you market that with Nirvana and their music and Kurt Cobain, except then it's through the eyes of his bandmates.
Because at least from my experience and the stuff that I've read and stuff like that, Kurt had some of his deals and whatnot, but he was a relatively laid back dude. Like, there is a story that Weird Al Yankovic tells about asking permission to do Smells Like Teen Spirit. And, by then, Weird Al, he's making a name for himself. He's been around for over about a decade by then.
Couple decades, probably.
No, well,
close.
Kurt Cobain passed away in '94, and Weird Al came out in '79. So give or take, right? And he happens. I don't remember where they're at, and he's having a conversation and whatnot, and Kurt Cobain wasn't the kind of guy that's like, fuck, dude, no, you're just some stupid fucking rip off art, blah blah blah. Kurt Cobain's response was, "Is it going to be about food?" He's like, "No, it's going to be about how nobody can understand you." Oh yeah, well hell, you need to do that.
He was fucking funny.
He was funny as hell, yeah. And so that's where it's like people need to see that, where you don't want it to be about Kurt. Those are the things that people need to see about Kurt, because all they see is the end result, what happened, why he's not here anymore. You need to give them the reason why Kurt was one of the best musicians of the time and will always be.
I think we've gotten that quite a bit through interviews, stories, through the countless documentaries on Kurt Cobain. Mm-hmm. I want just like there's more to Nirvana than Kurt Cobain.
Well, no,
that's where I think Bohemian Rhapsody could have focused like either do your Freddie Mercury movie or do your Queen movie. Don't try to do both. Mm-hmm. It's one or the other. Like, figure out what you want to do. That's where I think, like, if they did a Kurt Cobain movie, it would be great.
Just name it Kurt.
Kurt, sure. Why not?
Just name it Kurt.
Anyway, I want this to focus on his bandmates during that time. Mm-hmm. And then maybe your climax is how they react to his death. Mm-hmm. And then you end with Foo Fighters concert at the end. Boom. That's the movie.
Nope.
No. I have a couple names. I try to come up with a little bit of cast for this one.
Okay, who's Kurt?
I didn't cast him because I'm like, I don't want him in this movie very much.
Oh, God. So who's Dave? Who's Chris?
My choice for Dave would be a kid named Ferdia Walsh Pilo. Gesundheit, right? Mm-hmm. No, he was the lead in this movie Sing Street, which is
sure,
great frickin' musical. Mm-hmm. If you guys haven't watched Sing Street, please go watch it right now.
Right now. No. At the end of this, then go watch it.
No. Go stop the podcast and go watch Sing Street. It's much better than our podcast. And then Chris, I put Will Poulter. I think he's the right age for what I'm shooting for this time frame. Similar build. He's a great actor. That's my pick. This is also 5 minutes of research before we started.
And I immediately was like, I agree with you that Will Poulter is a great actor, but I also look and I was like, he doesn't have the facial structure for Chris Novoselic.
They don't need to look exactly the same. All right, that's my number 2 pick. I guess a Nirvana movie without Kurt Cobain.
I still think you're wrong.
I would not be able to sell this to producers.
Oh fuck no, you wouldn't.
Imagine this, a Nirvana movie, but without Kurt Cobain.
You gotta try to do this without getting Courtney Love pissed off.
She'll get pissed off either way, so.
And then on top of it, too, you gotta try to be able to get this made and get Frances approval, too. Because I believe she owns all the rights now.
That's what I'm saying. You just take Kurt Cobain out of it. No.
Yeah.
This is a dream movie, Brian. I'm obviously not going to make the Nirvana movie.
That would be like making a David Bowie movie without David Bowie. Oh, wait, never mind. That's already happening.
He's going to be in the movie, just not his music.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, what's your next pick there, Brian?
Well, staying on the grunge movement of the 90s.
It's almost like you grew up on that music.
Oh, wait. It's not like yeah, shut up. Chris Cornell. Again, along with him, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, all basically the front end movement of the grunge era of getting out of the sugar pop rock and roll that was the late 80s, early 90s, the hair metals, to give us such a, and I kind of go back to this like with Layne Staley is when you hear Chris Cornell, that is Chris Cornell. Had a very fascinating overall career, especially if you get career spanning with him because he was successful with Soundgarden, and then when they took a hiatus, then he started working with all the band members of Rage Against the Machine, Zach De La Rocha, and they created Audioslave. He did his solo project. He's got a solo album called Scream, where your executive producer is Timbaland, who's most known with working with like rappers and R&B and hip hop and rap and stuff like that. And Justin Timberlake. Yep, and correct. And has an absolutely fantastic cover of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. He was all over the place, while at the still same time it was all him. And again, maybe this was a byproduct of the time that he came up in, the type of music that he was in and whatnot, but also had his own demons to deal with and whatnot, and unfortunately resulted in a premature death as well. Unfortunately, it's and maybe you do see some of the stuff that's of after his passing and things that people who came up and in support of them. Anyway, you
focusing on him as a singular artist, I think, would be the way to go for this movie. And
yes.
I would be 100% for
it. And it's not to take away from any of the band members that he's worked with, whether you're talking Soundgarden or Audioslave, because, well, frankly, for the sake of Audioslave, I'm sorry. Tom Morello, yeah, he kind of kicks ass. But no, I mean, I think just him himself alone, I think, because you need, I can't see you just being like, well, you need to be just on Soundgarden, or just on Audioslave, because, whereas you can see the similarities between the two, they are very much different bands.
So that's your pick, Chris Cornell.
Yes.
I like that pick.
I like that pick too.
All right, my number one pick here is one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band of all time, the Ramones.
Of course, you had to go with punk rock, didn't you?
I had to go with my punk rock band, though pretty much the one that started all here in America, and I think I'm surprised, one, that this movie has never happened, and two, it needs to happen. This is a movie we need to see. It's a long time coming, and I would love to see just the 4 original band members tell their story as youths in New York, and then how they become this revolutionary band, the band that basically started punk rock. And I didn't have any idea where to start with casting, so I didn't even try with this one. But the director choice, I was on a Sing Street kick when I was thinking of some of these casting, but I want Sing Street director John Carney to direct this movie. He's got the musical background, obviously, with Sing Street, and I think he would be the right choice for this movie.
I could certainly see that.
Yeah.
At least as of, I came across a couple different articles, but at least according to as of June of last year, there is one in the works.
In some sort of production?
Well, not necessarily production, but, because it's got Nick Cavasetti's attached to direct. You may get that based on the 2009 memoir of brother Mickey Lee. The story revolves around the birth of the punk movement. So you might get exactly what you want. Just not without your director.
No, switch up the director. Make it my choice.
No. We can't do it. He's already attached. Anyway, so
if they are working on it, I'll be there right away. Like that's the band I want to see a musical.
And that's this honestly, this kind of goes in with the same respect of like what I said with Chris Cornell, is you're picking a band that is one of the bands that helped create a new genre at the time when they were around. They broke the mold. We didn't have anybody like the Ramones back then. They just showed up at the CBGB and said, we're going to do this our way. I think it'd just be a matter of just making sure, because I know that the Ramones are very, very hold here and dear to the, what gets released of theirs and not kind of thing, that you definitely would have to get the buy-off on from them.
From them, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise you're going to end up again with the Ziggy Stardust biopic with no David Bowie music.
Yeah. I'm looking this up because I completely forgot that this was announced at one point.
I think you probably just didn't know about until I just said it.
No, this was 5 years ago, 2014, that this came up. Scorsese was attached to direct a Ramones movie.
That would be awesome.
I would be in for that.
Well, granted, I'd be up for anything because Scorsese is amazing.
But a Ramones movie directed by Scorsese?
Yes.
Yeah. Please make it happen, but it's not going to 5 years later.
Starring Leonardo DiCaprio as Joey Ramone.
Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that's my number one pick, the Ramones. I don't care who directs.
You don't care?
Michael Bay could... No, okay.
No. I want to hold you to it. I really do.
Michael Bay directed Ramones movie. I'd still watch it.
Why is there so many goddamn explosions?
So many explosions in this musical biopic. All right, so that's my number one. Brian, what is your number one?
Call me a little biased and call me a little sad by saying this. I want one for Chester. Chester Bennington. because
I knew that was going to be on your
you
list.
figured that was going to happen.
No, I knew it was.
You knew that was going to happen. Again, somebody long, gone well before his time. 41 years old when he passed away. Definitely one that definitely battled his demons. And if you listen to any Linkin Park music, Dead by Sunrise, you definitely can hear a lot of his anguish and a lot of the issues that he dealt with. There is a story that I've seen, heard, read, I don't remember whatnot. But when Mike Shinoda was looking for a singer to add to the band, they were doing auditions and whatnot. And supposedly the rumor goes is that when Chester went in and people could hear him singing, half the people that came to the audition just got up and walked out because they knew that they had already lost. And I would love to see that.
I was about to say, that is a cinematic scene right there, what you just described.
Yes. He basically goes in, you just hear those vocals. Supposedly he was able to hold multiple notes at the same time just in the way that he sang. In the same respect of everybody on my list here is a very unique vocal. No matter what he was doing, and maybe depending on what you threw in there for whatnot, you maybe Lionsgate produces it and you give him a little cameo from when he was in the Saw movie, or when he was in the Crank movies, which I think is hilarious, is he plays two different people in two different of the sequel of the same movie. I honestly, I don't see this movie ever coming to fruition just because I know that his wife would rather see something of light and good. They have a huge charity that they built around Chester and whatnot in regards to suicide prevention, all that stuff. So I don't think it'll ever happen. I would be all for seeing it though.
I think out of all these, this is the one that would happen furthest in the future from right now.
Mm-hmm. Too soon.
Too soon.
Oh, well, and that would go for Chris Cornell as well, because you figure between Chris and Chester, those were literally within the last 2 years, which Chester passed away on Chris Cornell's birthday, and Chester is actually one of the godparents to one of Chris's kids. So, I mean, there's literally family linkage there.
What if you did both in the same movie?
That would be so fucking depressing.
A little bit.
No.
Yeah, a lot of depressing.
Yeah, and they come from two different kind of backgrounds. So your tonality of movie would be completely different from Chris's grunge era. It's either Chester's a godparent. I don't remember. One of them is a godparent for one of the other ones. And whereas Chester came in, that was 99. That was already a decade into Chris's career and whatnot. And so, freaking Linkin Park shot to the moon in 2000. So, I don't think you could even remotely try to put those two. If you were going to try to do a combo of these together, it would be Layne and Chris, because they come from the same time in the same genre. And then yours are just all over that.
And then mine can my Nirvana one can sneak in there with your grunge one.
Nirvana, yep. And then your Kurt Cobain list Nirvana one could, yeah.
Yes. With your lead singer.
And then we'd segue into the so we'd go.
So let's start at the beginning.
We'd go to the Ramones, through the grunge era, into Manson, into Linkin Park.
Yeah, we go with Ramones. Big gap in the 80s and late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, into the 90s grunge, and then you weave your way into the Manson demon hunting movie, and that's our finale.
Manson came out before Linkin Park.
I don't want to be depressing, but he's still alive, so he can still be hunting demons right now.
Okay, you fucking weird ass son of a bitch.
I want that movie. It'd be weird. Alright, so that's our musical biopics. Mine, two of them are a biopic. One is just a pipe dream of Marilyn Manson fighting demons, directed by Rob Zombie. So, I don't know. I feel pretty confident out of all those. I think the one that is most likely is probably, I would say the Ramones, and then I would probably go Chris Cornell is probably the second choice out of our group. Because my Nirvana list, or my Kurt Cobain
That will never happen.
Nirvana movie will never happen. So I think the Chris Cornell movie is more likely than that. All right, so that's the show right there.
That is it.
That is it. So we got to ask the question, what are some musicians that you feel need a biopic? Please let us know. We want to know someone besides our weird pipe dreams that we have here.
Oh, side note, we just did an interview for the movie that's being worked on right now called Everfallen. And we did have the opportunity to ask them. And the only real good straight answer I got was from Shelby. And she wants Weird Al.
Played by Weird Al. He has to play himself.
And you know what? I would be completely okay with that. And that needs to be a Lifetime, because we need to get UHF in there. Because we need to bring back some of the UHF fun part of his early career. Bring back what the fuck is his name? Kramer. The guy who played Kramer in Seinfeld. Bring them all back. You know, obviously he's super old, so give him a role or something like that and have somebody playing him. But no, I'd be all for Weird Al Yankovic.
That, I think, is one that will eventually happen.
God, I hope so.
We'll get a Weird Al movie. Yeah. So as Brian said, we did have an interview with the cast and crew of Everfallen. We got to ask them some questions about their film that will be coming out shortly. They're still working on production right now. They were doing a shoot here in Sioux Falls at Crosstown Vinyl. So, yeah, we got to have them on, talk about the movie. And, of course, we asked them the question which biopics they wanted to see. So check out that interview. By the time this is up, we should be pretty close to having that out. So be on the lookout for that.
Get to working on that there, Casey.
Yeah. We also got to make a pretty big announcement here. Right, meow.
Right, meow?
Right, meow.
Right, meow.
A couple of our buddies, Jameson Blake from Midwest Movie Talk, have now joined the Backlot 605 crew.
Yes.
We're officially a team.
We are a team.
We are the Avengers.
Wait a minute.
We're the schmucking
Hold on. Just wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
You're like, we're officially a team. You make it sound like Chris is not part of the team.
No. I'm going to continue with where we are as a team. Because we have our Avengers team. We're the schmucking Avengers.
We're the schmucking Avengers.
That's our name now.
So if I'm Iron Man,
I'm Captain America.
So does that make Chris Thor?
Chris is... Yeah, he would be the third man, Thor.
He's Thor.
Yep.
So and then
Blake and Jameson can be Hawkeye and Black Widow. Blake, you are obviously Black Widow. And then the wild card, Andy Erickson, he can be the Hulk. That's our team. That is our schmucking Avengers. I hope you all enjoy it.
Blake is going to be like, what the fuck? Why am I Black Widow? Why can't I be like War Machine?
No, you got to be Black Widow. Come on, Black Widow had an awesome sacrifice.
So. Oh, you're going off of like the first like Avengers.
Yeah, we got to stick with our main six. So, yes, Blake and Jameson have joined the Backlot 605 team from Midwest Movie Talk. So, please welcome them by reading Blake's first article, talking about how Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart are actually really good. Yeah. So he wrote an entire article explaining why those two are actually good actors.
And there's actually a couple movies that were on there that I did not know, and mainly the Kristen Stewart ones.
See, those are the ones I did know about. I didn't know hardly any of the Robert Pattinson ones.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, okay, I have some new movies to put on my need to watch list.
Yeah. So definitely check out his article. Those are going to be some movies you're going to maybe not have heard of, just like us. So check it out. Also check out Andy's article on Aladdin, as we said. Probably doing a Booksmart review. We don't know, but be on the lookout for that. We'll let you know on our social media page. I just did an article on top 5 horror sequels that are better than the original. I hope it sparks a little controversy, because I think I have some controversial picks in there.
Because you're always wrong?
Because I am always wrong. There might be a Rob Zombie movie in there, too.
Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that choice.
With that choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where else do we got to go? We got to talk about Anime Anatomy, which comes out every other Saturday. We're going to be having an episode coming out this Saturday. So after you listen to this, please go check out Anime Anatomy every other Saturday. So
every other Saturday.
Hosted by Logan and Kayla, where they talk anime, new and old, and bring you some of their favorite recommendations. Also check out our coming soon articles every Thursday. Check out Andy at Fat Dude Digs Flicks, another awesome movie reviewer here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He's getting to do some really cool stuff on the radio with Last Stop.
He's got a good
Go check out. He actually did an amuse bouche of Brightburn.
Of Brightburn that you enjoyed?
Yes, I really did. He does make some very valid points in regards to the movie. So I definitely recommend going and checking that out for him.
I'll give his shout out to his Monster Squad review for Last Stop. Because Monster Squad is fucking awesome.
It's Monster Squad.
It is Monster Squad. Wolfman's got nards.
Oh my god.
That is my favorite line from that movie. One of my favorite
That's one of the best scenes, period.
You can check out this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, and what is the new one that we are on, Brian?
TuneIn.
So if you guys have TuneIn or know what TuneIn is, please check us out on there. Please subscribe to all of those channels. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please give our page a like if you haven't done so. Please share with all your friends. Please spread the word, the good word about Backlot 605. Because you know what? We're just a bunch of schmucks that talk movies, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Schmucks in the basement.
Also, you're going to sing our new theme song there?
Schmucks in the basement.
It's going to be a new...
We're not even Schmucks in the basement anymore.
Coming Thursday nights to NBC, Schmucks in a Basement.
Hey, you know what? The Twitter feed, Shit My Dad Says became a TV show briefly with William Shatner. I'll take it.
I think we're going to be on NBC here pretty soon. I'm excited for it.
Do.
Yep. Also, check out our website, backlot605.com. This is our main hub for all things Backlot related. All our podcasts, movie reviews, articles, anything we want to talk about movie related will be on backlot605.com. And also, check out our TeePublic store. We got some cool shirts, some Anime Anatomy shirts, and stickers up on there. So please check that out. And one last thing, if you're on Facebook, please follow the Sioux Falls Film Community Group and join us in talking about movies on there. That's pretty much what we do.
That's what we do.
That's all we know how to do. Did I miss anything, Brian, or did I nail it on the head?
Well, for once.
I nailed it on the head with everything but my 3 choices for musical biopics.
Yeah, you got to work on that.
Besides the Ramones. I stand by that choice.
The Ramones.
All right, Brian. So until next time, next week we have a pretty fun episode where we will have to do some research on, because we are going to be fan casting the X-Men for the MCU.
Danny DeVito is Logan.
Oh, no. No. Anyway, next week will be me, Brian, and Chris. We will bring our picks for the X-Men, and then we will come up with a Backlot 605 official X-Men team next week. So be on the lookout for that. But until next time, Brian?
Yes.
This has been Backlot 605.
And you are just still weird with that whole thing, aren't you?
What thing? The one that they can check us out on the Backlot of South Dakota.